Hi guys, I'm Izzy and I got offers to study at universities such as Cambridge, LSE and Warwick, and today I'm going to be telling you 5 mistakes to avoid in your personal statement. I remember lots of the feedback I got given when writing my personal statement, and I've also read countless other students' personal statements, so here are a few things that I've picked up on. The first thing, and I'm sure you've heard it before, is to not use cliche openings or kind of cringy lines. So the classic, "I've wanted to be a lawyer since I was 5 years old." Maybe you have, but if you have, definitely back it up with something. Was it a life experience you had? Was it something you witnessed? Don't just say you wanted to be a doctor from the age of 2, but with nothing actually backing it up. It doesn't matter whether you've wanted to study the subject from 3 years old or you decided 4 months ago. It's more about the content and how you've explored it now. The second mistake a lot of students make is just listing their achievements. So you obviously have all your predicted grades and any admission test scores. So a lot of students use a personal statement as the way to show their other achievements. But the purpose of a personal statement is not just for a list to show that you're better than people. It's to show that you've actually reflected and engaged in your subject. Some feedback I recently gave to a student's law personal statement was that it doesn't matter whether you've been and watched a trial 100 times or someone's only gone to court to watch a trial once. What will be better is the person who's properly engaged in it, properly reflected on it and described their experience and importantly what they learnt. Similarly, it doesn't matter whether you've done work experience at the best company in the country or your local corner shop. The person who will do better is the person who critically engages in what they experienced. A third mistake a lot of students do is not actually saying why they're interested in the subject. You need to remember that you're applying to study this course for 3 years academically, not just for a job at the end. You're going to be spending 3 years writing essays about it and reading all about it. So you need to get across what your actual interest in the subject is. This is really good to put in question 1 of the new UCAS questions. Again, saying what was your first interest and importantly, why did that make you interested? Like what skills did you like using? What way did you like thinking? Get into the whys of that subject. Fourthly, a lot of students end up being too descriptive rather than reflective. So say you're talking about a book, a student might spend 2 or 3 sentences just describing what that book is about. Equally, if they went to a lecture, just reciting what the lecturer said, or if you're talking about a theory, again, just explaining what that theory meant. The best advice I ever got given was the person reading your personal statement probably wrote that book. They probably know all about that theory. You don't need to be explaining it to them. But what they don't know is your thoughts on it. That's why it's called a personal statement. So don't waste words explaining something that the reader likely will know. Get into the things they won't know, which is your thoughts about it, your opinions, and your voice. So when rereading your personal statement, just have a look at how much description you're doing versus actual critical analysis. And finally, a lot of students might spend too long on extracurriculars. So supercurriculars are your things which is exploring books, podcasts, lectures, and your extracurriculars are things like clubs you did, positions of responsibility, debating. Obviously it does depend on the